Welcome back to Cultivel Home and Garden. It's mid-July, the catmint has flopped over, the sage looks gray and skeletal, the lady's mantle is spotted and burnt, and you're standing there thinking, well, I guess that's it for this season. Stop right there, because you are 2 weeks away from one of the most powerful moments in the entire gardening year. One pair of shears, one afternoon, and your garden comes back to life. Today, 10 plants, 10 cuts, and a second spring. Let's go. Right now, from mid-July to the very beginning of August, you have a critical window. Plants that finish their first bloom still have enough time to recover, regrow, and flower again before the first frost. Miss this window, and September looks tired. Hit it correctly, and September looks like May. One golden rule: anything that finished its primary bloom before the end of June can be cut back hard right now. Remember that. Now let's get those shears. Plant number 1, Catmint, Nepeta faassenii. After its first bloom, Catmint looks like a failed soufflé, hollow in the middle, floppy at the edges, laying flat on the soil. Most gardeners timidly pluck a few dead heads and call it done. That does nothing. Take your head shears and cut the entire plant back by half. Hardy in USDA zones 3 through 8, Catmint has the root energy to bounce back completely. Within 3 weeks, it reinvents itself into a compact, fresh mound covered in new buds. Bonus trick? Do this cut right before you leave for a summer vacation. Reduced foliage means less water loss while you're away. You'll come home just as the new buds are ready to open. Pro tip: after cutting, water deeply and apply a thin layer of organic compost at the base. This gives the plant the fuel it needs to regrow quickly. Skip the mineral fertilizer. Too much nitrogen this late creates soft growth that won't harden before winter. Plant number 2, wood sage, Salvia nemorosa. When those violet flower candles turn into gray skeletal spikes, cut the entire plant down to 4 to 6 inches above the ground. Lower than feels comfortable. Do it anyway. Hardy in USDA zones 4 through 8, wood sage is one of the most grateful perennials in the garden. It rewards a hard cut with a second wave of flowers in about 4 weeks, arriving right when bees and bumblebees need it most before winter. One non-negotiable step: immediately after cutting, give the plant a deep, thorough soak. The cut is a restart, and a restart needs water. Pro tip: cut all faded spikes at the same time, rather than removing them individually over weeks. A simultaneous hard cut triggers a synchronized regrowth that produces a fuller, more uniform second flush. Plant number 3, lady's mantle, Alchemilla mollis. This cut feels wrong, and that's exactly why most gardeners don't do it, spending the rest of summer staring at spotted, weathered foliage. By mid-July, the leaves are rusty and burnt. The fix is radical. Cut everything back to ground level. Every leaf, gone. Hardy in USDA zones 3 through 8, lady's mantle has enough root energy to respond fast. Within 2 weeks, a fresh, velvety green mountain of new leaves pushes through, clean and pristine all the way to the first frost. Bonus: this radical cut also prevents lady's mantle from self-seeding aggressively and taking over your entire garden bed. Pro tip: if the cut foliage looks healthy, chop it into small pieces and spread it thinly back between your perennials as in-place mulch. It keeps moisture in and returns nutrients directly to the bed. Plant number 4, cranesbill, geranium species. By mid-July, most cranesbill varieties look like crushed nests, spread out, messy, yellowing at the center. Cut the entire plant back to about 4 inches high. It looks brutal. You haven't made a mistake. Hardy across USDA zones 4 through 8, cranesbill responds by forming a tight, fresh, compact mound of new foliage within 2 to 3 weeks, and most varieties follow with a secondary wave of delicate flowers in late August or September. The key is courage. A partial cut produces a messy half-and-half plant. A full cut produces a completely fresh one. Pro tip: look for geranium roseanne, one of the most reliable reblooming varieties. A hard July cut triggers an exceptionally generous second flush that often continues right up until the first frost.
Plant number 5, Yarrow, Achillea millefolium. When Yarrow's flat flower plates turn brown, most gardeners snip just the tips, producing a shorter brown stem instead of a brown stem. Not helpful. The correct cut goes all the way down to the leaf rosettes at ground level. New stems emerge from those rosettes, and while they may be slightly shorter, the color in September's cooler air is often more vivid than the original bloom. Hardy in USDA zones 3 through 9, Yarrow has the resilience to make this recovery every single year. That flat-topped second bloom also serves as a critical landing platform for late-season butterflies and beneficial insects still actively feeding in September. Pro tip: after the deep cut, resist high nitrogen fertilizer. Yarrow evolved in lean meadow soil. Rich feeding produces lush foliage at the expense of flowers. Compost only, applied lightly.
Plant number 6, tickseed, Coreopsis spp. Tickseed is a workhorse, but it needs a starting gun to keep going. Left uncut, it shifts energy into seed production, and the flower show winds down. The fix? Use head shears to clip off the top third of the plant, removing all spent blooms in one quick pass. Hardy in USDA zones 4 through 9, tickseed redirects that saved energy into a continuous stream of fresh flowers that can last right up until October. Think of this not as a reset, but as an acceleration. You're not cutting it back to recover, you're cutting it to keep running. Pro tip: do this cut every 3 to 4 weeks through late summer, not just once. Each pass resets the flowering clock. A tickseed managed this way in July will still be blooming bright in early October when almost everything else has finished.
Plant number 7, peach-leaved bellflower, Campanula persicifolia.
Once those elegant blue bell-shaped stalks become brown skeletons, cut every faded stalk all the way to ground level. Every one. But leave the green base foliage completely intact. That low rosette is the plant's engine, and touching it interrupts the recovery. Hardy in USDA zones 3 through 8, bellflower reliably sends up a second generation of stems within a few weeks. They may be slightly shorter, but in the cooling garden of September, every bit of true blue is worth its weight in gold. Blue is one of the rarest colors in the late summer garden. This plant delivers it when almost nothing else can. Pro tip: after removing faded stalks, check around the base for self-sown seedlings. Transplant them now to fill gaps. They'll overwinter as small rosettes and bloom next summer. Plant number 8, mountain cornflower, Centaurea montana. This is the most underestimated plant on this list, and the one most gardeners have completely forgotten about by mid-July. It bloomed in May and June, and now it's sitting there quietly while everything else takes the stage. Cut it back completely to the ground. Hardy in USDA zones 3 through 8, mountain cornflower is one of the few perennials where such a drastic measure almost never fails. It pushes out fresh, silvery green foliage and blooms again in late summer. 2 full bloom cycles, while your neighbors think it only blooms once. Pro tip: when cutting back in July, divide the clump at the same time. separate the outer sections and transplant them to fill gaps elsewhere. More plants? Tidy your original clump? 2 problems solved in one afternoon. Plant number 9, blanket flower, Gaillardia times grandiflora. With this one, we're not just talking aesthetics, we're talking survival. Blanket flower has a tendency to bloom itself to death. It puts so much energy into flowers and seeds that it exhausts its reserves within 2 to 3 years and simply dies. Hardy in USDA zones 3 through 9, this plant is one of the most colorful and heat-tolerant perennials available, but only if it lives long enough. Cut it back by 1/3 in mid-July and deadhead consistently. You force it to save energy for its own root system, significantly extending its lifespan. This isn't pruning for beauty, this is pruning for survival. Pro tip: if your blanket flower is already thinning at the center, take cuttings from healthy outer sections in late summer. Root them in sandy compost and you'll have fresh young plants ready to replace the aging parent next spring.
Plant number 10, bee balm, Monarda didyma. Bee balm is one of the most dramatic rebloomers in the summer garden, but by mid-July, it has another problem beyond faded flowers: powdery mildew. Those white, dusty patches on the leaves are almost inevitable if the plant is left to grow crowded and unchecked. The July cut solves both problems at once. Cut the entire plant back to 4 to 6 inches above the ground. Remove every mildewed stem. Bag it, don't compost it. Hardy in USDA zones 4 through 9, bee balm responds with a flush of clean, fresh foliage and a strong second bloom in August and September in vivid shades of red, pink, and purple. Hummingbirds and bees find the tubular flowers from across the garden, and that second bloom arrives at exactly the moment when late-season pollinators need nectar most. Pro tip: after cutting, improve airflow around the plant by thinning any remaining stems to 6 inches apart. Powdery mildew thrives in stagnant, humid air between crowded stems. Better airflow after the cut means the second flush comes back clean, healthy, and mildew-free.
Before you head outside, 3 things that will undo everything. 1. Dull shears. A dull blade crushes tissue instead of cutting it. Sharpen your blades and wipe with alcohol before you start. 2. Pruning in midday sun. A fresh cut is a wound. Prune in the evening or on a cloudy day so the plant recovers in cool air. 3. Cutting and forgetting. Every cut is a restart. After every plant, water thoroughly and add organic compost. The plant needs fuel. Give it that fuel.
10 plants, 10 cuts, 1 afternoon. That's all it takes to transform a tired July garden into a vibrant September masterpiece. The window is open right now, mid-July to the very beginning of August. After that, there simply isn't enough time before the first frost. So get your shears, get outside, and give your garden the second spring it's been waiting for. Subscribe to Cultivel Home and Garden for new videos every week, and we'll see you in the next one.